15 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 6 walks, and 19 strikeouts. Opponents batting 146 against Moton on the year. That concludes the Alabama Softball pregame report. First pitch is next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome back to Rhoads Stadium, the Bama Bash, day number 1. Alabama set to take on Purdue in the first game for the Crimson Tide. First of 2 of the day. Alabama will take on Liberty a little bit later on this evening, and we'll have that for you right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Tom Canterbury alongside Gray Robertson. And Gray, we were there last week. You heard it. Alabama had a tremendous weekend at Georgia Tech in the Buzz Classic, and now a chance for them to put on a show here for the home folks.
Yeah, and there were a lot of storylines coming out of last weekend, some individual players on offense, and certainly the overall team power numbers. But you can make the argument there was no bigger story for the Crimson Tide on opening weekend than the young lady taking the circle tonight, Vic Moten, who's starting this game. You know, without Jocelyn Brisky at full health, she did pitch, but she wasn't really able to go logistically until Saturday. You knew one of the freshmen we're going to need to step up, either Caitlin Palazzi or Vic Moten. It was Vic who got the ball. It was Vic who made a true statement. And what makes her stuff so good and so lethal is the ability to go up and down with great movement. Explosive rise through the top of the zone, drop that falls off the table. As Patrick Murphy said in the pregame interview, she does mix in a bit of a changeup. It's more off speed than pure change, but anything to throw a different look at any hitting lineup that you're going to see is crucial. So now it's up to her to make sure she handles the nerves and not try and replicate what she did last week. Just, you know, play her game, pitch her game, and if she does that, she will have a lot of success.
Defensive linemen for the Crimson Tide: Johnson in left, Vandegrift in center, Roman in right, Dukeshire at third, Hawkins at short, Young at second, Wells at first, Giles catching, and Papillo is a designated player. Umpires for today's ball game: Russell Young is behind home plate with Heath Walker at first and Ken Jones, the third base umpire. The first inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. Chloe Banks to lead things off for Purdue. Left-handed hitting right fielder, batting .444, 8 of 18, 11 runs scored, a double, a triple, and 4 RBIs, along with 6 walks through 6 games here this season.
I like that you mentioned that. She came into this weekend first in the Big Ten in walks and 7th in batting average. And all those numbers, Tom, factor in an 0 for 4 with 2-run performance earlier today in that win against Georgia Southern. So, you know, if you look at the Purdue lineup, the top 2 in particular, Banks and then Polar right behind, they're the real weapons with wheels. And you've got to make sure you keep Chloe Banks and Mariah Polar off base if you're Vic Moten. That's got to be step 1.
That's a high degree of difficulty phrase right there.
I mean, OBP 583, 667, so it's not like that's an easy thing to do, but that's got to be the mission.
So Chloe Banks will step in to start things off. Beautiful day here in Tuscaloosa, 67 degrees and sunny at first pitch. First pitch comes in, and it's just a bit inside for ball 1, and Team 30 has opened up the home portion of their schedule. The 1-0. There's a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And you see that velocity coming in for Moten, 68 miles per hour right there. That was her rise ball, outer edge of the plate, right in the zone. She brings that upper 60 velocity with these tough pitches.
That one comes in low, 2 balls and 1 strike. There's Alabama 5-0 entering today's game, coming off of the weekend in the Buzz Classic. Purdue at 6-1. Excuse me, 5-1. That one swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They started off the season at the UNLV Leadoff Classic out in Las Vegas, which I wouldn't be opposed to heading out there at some point.
I would love to go.
Beat Cal Baptist twice, UNLV once, and split with UIC. That one's right in there for a called strike 3, and Banks is down on strikes to start things off here in the first.
Yeah, and nothing too flashy about this one. That looked like just a pure spot fastball right there from Vic Moten, lower part of the zone. But again, it's the spin that fools the hitters, right? And Banks just didn't like what she saw, took it, and sits down.
Left fielder Mariah Poehler steps in. The first pitch of her is low for ball 1. Poehler batting .636, 14-22 with 12 runs scored, a double, a triple, a homer, and 6 RBIs in the year.
Second team All Big Ten selection last season.
Called strike, 1-1.
Earlier today, 2 for 4 with an RBI. And it's worth noting, you were talking about what Purdue did opening weekend. They did take one tough loss to Illinois Chicago. That's the lone blemish on the record.
The 1-1. Fouls it away, 1-2.
And that's really what kept Purdue out of the NCAA tournament last year. I mean, Brady had them in. A couple people had them in. They were arguably one of the first 2 or 3 out for the selection committee, and a big reason why was bad losses in the RPI early in the year. And they didn't have many big non-con wins, so they understand how crucial a chance like today and tomorrow is.
1-2 is inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the first, just underway. Alabama and Purdue. 4th all-time meeting between the Crimson Tide and the Boilermakers. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by Vic Moten to start things off. 1 looking and 1 swinging. 2 out, nobody on. And the barrage of left-handers continues with the designated player, Bella Douglas. First pitch. Called strike. Douglas batting .421, 8 of 19, 8 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 homers. Leads the team with 12 RBIs, also has 5 walks.
It was the Week 1 Big Ten Freshman of the Week.
Lone inside, 1-1.
Put up a 3 double, 2 homer, 11 RBI opening weekend for Purdue. Earlier today, 1 for 4 with a ribby.
The 1-1. Called strike on the inside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got it with the rise. And Vic Moten strikes out the side here in the first.
And if you're watching on the SEC Network Plus stream, you just saw what we talked about earlier, the explosive rise ball from Vic Moten. It's just such a weapon. It leaps right up through the zone. Not much that Douglas could do right there. Really, really strong first inning, obviously, for the freshman.
Purdue goes down in order in the top of the first. We head to the home half of the first inning. Purdue 0, Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between Purdue and Alabama. And here is the Alabama Power starting lineup for the number 8th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. 5-0 on the season. Leading things off is the center fielder, Audrey Vandergriff. Brooke Wells, first base, batting second. Salyn Hawkins, the shortstop, will bat third. Batting fourth is designated player Lex Pillow. Marley Giles catching, batting fifth. Abby Ducher, third base, batting sixth. Anna Roman, the right fielder, bats 7th. Jenna Young, second base, batting 8th. And Lauren Johnson, the left fielder, will bat 9th. They'll face in the circle for Purdue, the right-handed freshman from Kinder, Louisiana, Bree Fontenot. Fontenot on the year, a 2.69 ERA, 2-1 the record, making her 5th appearance and 2nd start. 13 innings, 14 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 8 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Opponents batting .275 against Fontenot on the year. And Audrey Vandergrift to lead things off. First pitch to the All-American. Pulled back the bunt. It's high for ball 1. Vandergrift batting .375 so far on the year, 6 of 16, 8 runs scored with 2 homers, 5 RBIs.
And what a big opportunity for Fontenot, the freshman, who got off to a really good start last weekend.
Vandergrift fouls that away, 1-1.
You know, I really liked what I saw on film as I was cruising around checking out what all these pitchers throw. Fontenot brings it low to mid-60s, really kind of a 63, 64, but her drop really tumbles off the table. Very hard drop. She's got a changeup at the mid-50s, and she just locates. She works down on the zone and hits her spots very well.
1-1 pitch. That bunt is down the third base line. Painter has it. The throw is not in time. Vandergrift beats out the infield single to start things off here in the first inning.
I'll tell you what, this is a heck of a play by Painter at third. I mean, she charged. She made a Salem Hawkins-esque throw on the run that was right on target, and yet Vandergrift is safe. Why? Because she's got top 5 wheels in America, and now the question is when, not if, is she going to take off and go for second.
4 for 4 stolen bases on the year is Vandergrift as Brooke Wells steps in. First pitch. Called strike on the inside corner. The defensive lineman for the Boilermakers, Polar in left, Condon in center, Banks in right, Painter at third, Campbell at short, Moore at second, Gossett at first with Reef behind the plate, Douglas the DP. Fontenot looks in, the 0-1, pulls back the bunt. Vandergrift does take off, and she slides in safely just ahead of the tag. Campbell, the shortstop, can't believe it. She thought they had her. It was close.
It was very close, and this is a good throw by Reef. A little offline, kind of pulled Campbell to the right side from our view of second base. And they're going to challenge.
Challenge is going to be made by Maggie Frazzati, the head coach of the Boilermakers.
Well, and this is a great challenge by Coach Frazzati. I would do the exact same thing. I think they have to tell everybody what they're doing first.
Purdue is challenging to call second base. So further review.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Heath.
But you know what? A little extra detail there, which I like. They're challenging the play at second base. That last week, that's not what we got in Atlanta. We got the play is under review, and then they left. And
mic'd up and everything.
I wasn't proud. That was booming.
Yes.
I mean, they had better audio than us, honestly.
An opportunity to let you know the first inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball.
Now, if you're at home watching this on SEC Network Plus, you're probably saying, well, this is a pass-through. How in the world are they going to have the angles to review this? However, the High Home probably has some pretty good looks as well, but they also have the Hawkeye technology that's been used the last few seasons in the SEC, really captures a clear picture. They're cameras that don't have to be manned, and that's what I'm sure the umpires are taking a look at right now over at the Review Center.
Mentioned this is the 4th all-time meeting between Alabama and Purdue. Alabama leads the all-time series 3-0. The Boilermakers were part of the 2008 Bama Bash when the Tide picked up 2 run rule wins over the Boilermakers, and the 2 teams last played in the 2012 Crimson Classic, a 7-3 Alabama victory, and the Tide is 81-47 all-time against the current makeup of the Big Ten.
Big Ten, always an interesting conference because typically you have like 2 or 3 teams up at the top and then a bunch of squads who can pop up and have a good year. With the addition of Oregon and UCLA and Washington, they've kind of sucked up a lot of the oxygen the last few years. But even still, you have teams like Purdue last year, Michigan State this year, who really have done a nice job making early statements and made statements last year.
Iowa's done that
Absolutely
in the last few years as well. So some of the middle of the pack teams in the Big Ten are ones that you can't just sleepwalk and come through and beat.
Wow.
And after further review, Audrey Vandergriff is called out stealing. So the big first out for Purdue is Reef throws out one of the country's best base stealers for the first out of the inning.
It's pretty impressive work by Reef. Threw out a base stealer earlier today against Georgia Southern, but Vandergriff is a whole nother animal. Well done.
Pitch was a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike, now 1 out. Wells takes that one outside, 2 balls and a strike. Brooke batting .583. She's 7 of 12 with 2 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 homers, and 7 RBIs. 6 walks as well.
Yeah, that OBP sky high, 722.
Called strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And with Brooke Wells in the 2 spot, the goal is for, if Audrey Vandergriff leads off getting on first base, at worst she's at second when Wells is done. That doesn't factor in her getting thrown out stealing.
Right.
The 2-2, too far outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you can see in the early going, Fontenot really wanting to stay away from the power alley for Brooke Wells. All these pitches, outer part of the plate. That one just tailed away a little bit too much, but she has no interest in coming middle in to Brooke Wells.
The payoff. Fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the first inning. Alabama taking on Purdue. First of 2 for the Crimson Tide. Second of 2 on the day for Purdue. As mentioned, they beat Georgia Southern earlier today 4-0. Payoff pitch to Wells, low and away for ball 4, and Wells does draw the walk. Her 7th of the season already.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do. Again, it was pretty clear what Fontenot wanted to do and certainly what she didn't want to do in that pitch sequence. So Wells, even though she likes low and away, didn't try and force the issue, took her base.
Salem Hawkins steps to the plate. First pitch. Called strike. Hawkins batting .533, 8 of 15, 4 runs scored, 3 homers, and 7 RBIs on the first weekend.
0 for 5 in her career in the Bama Bash. I would guess she gets a hit at some point this weekend. Just been swinging it so well.
The 0-1. Called strike on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. That one's lined to right. It's going to stay up and get caught by Banks in right field. And can't hit it much harder than that if you're saying Hawkins. Goes the opposite way, but it hangs up too much. Line drive out. There's 2 gone.
And we talked about this on Out of the Box this week. Even the outs have been exciting. I mean, the crowd pop on a simple line out to right. Really, really impressive. Good positioning by Banks out there in right field. But if I'm Salem Hawkins, I'm not upset whatsoever about that at-bat.
So now 2 outs, runner on first for the designated player, Lex Papillo. First pitch, fouled away for strike 1. Lex batting .400. She's 6 of 15 with 4 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 homers, leads the team with 11 RBIs.
Career in the Bama Bash, hitting .308 with a couple RBIs, a homer, a double. Her senior day tomorrow, so she's wanting to show out here this weekend.
The 0-1. Just missed, maybe a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 200 down the line, 220 to straightaway center field. The Rhoads house, 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield. One, too high, 2-1. Crowd continuing to file in as they get off work. They'll come in. And I expect there'll be a big one here this evening for the matchup with Liberty.
Honestly, a pretty good number now.
Right. People out there enjoying the sun. The 2-1. Again, a little outside. 3 balls and a strike.
I'll tell you what, Russell Young is not loving that drop ball in the outer half to the lefty Lex Papillo. That looks like a good pitch to me, but not getting the call.
3-1. Same spot. Walk is issued. Second free pass of the inning, putting runners now on first and second with 2 out. A chance for the catcher, Marley Giles. Marley batting .571, 8 of 14, 8 runs scored with a double, 2 homers, and 6 RBIs.
And her Bama Bash stats, she's 4 for 15. That's a .267 average. She's made the hits count. 8 RBIs on those 4 hits, including a couple homers and 4 walks. And this is exactly the spot you want the hard-swinging Giles up at the plate.
First pitch. Called strike. We've mentioned it before. Giles had the 2 home runs this past weekend and was maybe a combined foot away from having 2 more. Hit 2 right off the top of the wall. The high wall out in Georgia Tech. And that one's driven to deep left field. If it's fair, it's gone, but it will hook foul. Marley got all that one, but was just a touch out in front.
Yeah, this is a mistake by Fontenot. Kind of left that pitch a little bit too elevated, and what I love about it is Marley saw it and was like, yes. Unfortunately, a little out in front, but barrel, hard barrel. Now the 0-2, you've got to protect.
Another 0-2, that one is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runners on first and second. No score in the home half of the first inning. Alabama trying to strike first. Which they only did 3 out of 5 times this past weekend. The 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Got outscored in the first inning in Atlanta, 5-4. Now the other innings, pretty, hefty Bama.
We'll talk about the 3rd inning when we get there.
Oh, just wait, folks.
2-2. Giles grounds this one to deep short. The backhanded stop and the throw from Campbell to third is in time to get Wells and retire the side. Alabama threatens here in the first, but can't get anybody in.
Yeah, one of those scenarios where if you're Campbell, you've got one play and it's that play to third, and it might have been a little bit dicier if Alabama had one of the green light girls on base, but Brooke Wells is not one of those players. So even though it was respectful, unfortunately you don't get the big hit you were looking for there in the first inning.
For the Tide in the first, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We played an inning, 0-0, Alabama and Purdue here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The second inning is presented by Fast Signs at Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs at Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs at Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. 0-0 as we head to the top of the second inning. Due up for the Boilermakers here in the visiting half of the second. Painter, Condon, and Gossett. 4-5-6. Vic Moten back out for her second inning of work. The freshman struck out the side in the first inning.
Third baseman number 43.
Haley Painter, the first righty in the lineup, steps in for Purdue. Timeout call before Moten can throw the first pitch. Painter batting .353, 6 of 17 with 3 runs scored, 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 8 RBIs on the year. First pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1.
Painter earlier today had a home run against Georgia Southern, part of a 1-for-3 outing.
The 0-1. Right in there for a strike, no balls and 2 strikes. Alabama in the all-white uniforms, white jerseys with crimson script Bama across the chest, white pants, and crimson socks. The 0-2 is high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Purdue, they're in the all-black uniforms with gold pinstripes, black jerseys with gold Purdue and script across the chest, black pants and gold socks. The 1-2, fouled away. We'll do it again, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I really like the Purdue color scheme. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
Gary's Fashion Corner.
Okay.
And you know why I like it? Because it makes for a very clean-looking board.
Sure.
The gold and the black, good Sharpies.
Still looking for that NIL. The
Please.
1-2 is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not a whole lot of wind to speak of. There is a little bit of a breeze blowing left to right. 2-2 is popped up on the infield. Moten calls everyone off, and she'll make the catch herself. Coming out of the circle for out number 1.
Yeah, that one was coming down quickly, and it would have been a struggle based on the positioning for anyone else, Wells or Giles, to get there in time. Good job by Vic fielding her position. Those are ones typically you don't want the pitcher taking,
Right.
but she handled that pretty well.
That brings up Maura Condon, the center fielder. First pitch. Oh,
Yeah.
looked right down the middle, didn't get the call. Condon batting .273, 3 of 11 with a run scored, a double, and 3 RBIs. The 1-0. Called strike. Okay, I think
The zone is a little shifted to the right. You know, Russell Young does not love inside arm side for Moten.
Right.
He does love river glove side.
the 1-1. One hopper back to Moten. He makes a leaping stop and throw, and there's 2 away.
Through the air, on the land, Vic's got you covered. You know, and this was a pretty hard hit chopper. If you get good contact, Moten supplies the velocity, so it's going to come off the bat hard. But she was able to field her position very cleanly right there.
2 out, nobody on for the first baseman. Julia Gossett swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Gossett batting .250, 4 of 16 with 3 runs scored, has a couple of homers and 3 RBIs. And drops a bit too low, 1-1.
One of those home runs came earlier today, part of a 1-for-3 outing against Georgia Southern. This is the player that Brady Vernon thinks has All-American stuff. She's got that capability.
That one's well hit to center field, but it'll stay in the ballpark. Vandegrift is there. She'll make the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning pitch by Vic Boat.
Yeah, really good stuff from Vic. A couple more hard hit balls that inning, but I think part of that is just adjusting to the strike zone and seeing that a certain pitch you're trying to throw is not getting called, so you're having to bring it up a little bit. But so far, what I love, no sign of nerves at all from the freshman.
Purdue goes down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. We head to the home half of the second inning. Still scoreless between the Boilermakers and the Crimson Tide here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the second inning. No score between Alabama and Purdue. The second inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote From Fast Signs, for all your business visibility needs, Fast Signs in Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. 6-7-8 due up for the Tide in the home half of the second inning. Dukeshire, Roman, and Young against Bree Fontenot back out for her second inning of work. Bama threatened in the first inning, but couldn't get anybody across. Dukeshire to start things off. The senior batting .222. She's 2 of 9, 3 runs scored, a homer, 2 doubles. It's been hit a couple of times.
OBP at 417 for Duke.
First pitch. High for ball 1.
Let me tell you, Tom, get you someone who loves you just like Abby Dukeshire loves the Bama Bash. A career .472 average in this event. 17 of 36 with 10 RBIs, a homer, 4 doubles, 3 walks, 5 runs scored. She has always stepped up and really delivered in this tournament every year.
1-0. Outside, 2-0. If I remember correctly, I think she was the MVP at the Bama Bash last year.
She was, had an SEC Player of the Week potential, didn't get the nod, specifically because Alabama lost a game, unfortunately, but
the 2-0 is a called strike, 2-1. Third base coaching box is Alabama's head coach Patrick Murphy in his 28th season as the Alabama head man. Alabama head coaching record of 1,322 victories, 398 losses. The 2-1, low 3-1. That's a .769 winning percentage for the national champion and Hall of Fame head coach. Assistant coach is Caleb Rowe. She's in the first base box. Lance McMahon, the pitching coach. Hitting coach is Adam Arbor. Ryan Murray, the coordinator of player development. The 3-1, Dukeshire. Fly ball to right field. Well hit, but underneath it to make the catch is Banks for out number 1. Director of softball operations is Jaden Spencer. The administrative secretary is Sherry Selby.
oh, here we go now.
William Warwick, the athletic trainer. Strength and conditioning coach, Michelle Diltz. So 1 out, nobody on for the right fielder, Anna Roman. First pitch to the freshman. Called strike. Roman batting .455, 5 of 11, 3 runs scored, 3 homers, and 6 RBIs. A lot of people thought that she had a case for SEC Freshman of the Week.
Fortunately, there were just a lot of people to nominate for all these things. You don't want to steal votes from each other.
The 0-1 is lined, and that's going to be a fair ball down the left field line. Roman will round first, dig for second. It's going to be close at second, and she's thrown out. Roman tried to stretch that single into a double, and a good throw from Polar. Got her at second, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a hesitation around first base. There was a great piece of hitting by Roman. Went with the pitch, lined it right by Painter, but great defense by Polar. That's an excellent throw, no obstruction whatsoever. Good job by Purdue getting Roman out at second.
So now 2 out, nobody on for the second baseman, Jenny Young. First pitch to her is high and inside for ball 1. Young batting .333, 4 of 12, 5 runs scored, 2 doubles, a homer, and 3 RBIs.
The only member of the Crimson Tide with experience against Purdue.
Oh, okay.
Transferred in from Iowa, so they had some Big Ten battles.
1-0. Misses outside, 2-0.
Here's the line. Jenny Young, 4 for 10, with a couple RBIs, a homer, a walk, and a run scored.
.2-0 pitch. Misses a little outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
And pretty much all that damage was done a couple years ago in a 3-game series. In the first 2 games of the series, Purdue was able to get her out, I believe, all 3 times she was up in game 3. But start that series, they were like, goodness gracious, how do we stop this girl?
3-0's a called strike, 3-1. There were a lot of people that were saying that against Jenny Young at Iowa.
It's why a lot of the softball people were really excited to see what she could do when she arrived.
3-1 comes in too low for ball 4, and that's the 3rd walk issued in less than 2 innings for Bree Fontenot.
Well, and that's the one thing that I talked about her location, and she does hit her spots well, which is why it was so weird to see 8 walks to 6 strikeouts on opening weekend. And even stuff like that, that's not a bad pitch. That call just hasn't been there. So if you're throwing that pitch, outside to lefties, what do you think's going to happen?
Lauren Johnson steps in. First pitch to her is a ground ball to second. Stop made by Moore, and she'll throw to second to get the out and retire the side. So again, Alabama with some traffic in the second inning, but nobody can get across.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be pleased with the amount of base runners and people on. You just have had 2 of your 6 outs be on the base paths at second base. So that's something that the second time through the order they'll need to make sure is all squared up.
Put the Tide in the second. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 2. Still scoreless, Alabama and Purdue here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The third inning is brought to you by Barkley GMC, the best place to buy a vehicle in Tuscaloosa, and proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Visit barclaygmc.com today. Barkley makes it easy. We head to the third inning, 0-0, Alabama and Purdue. Bottom of the order due up for the Boilermakers. And here to take you through the third, I turn things over to my partner, Gray Robertson.
Thank you, Tom. This is where, really the Tide comes to shine. Delaney Reef starts off here in the 7th spot. First pitch from Moten is a rise high for ball 1. Why do I say that? Because this year, small sample size, Alabama's outscoring opponents in the third inning 26-1.
It's where Alabama seems to figure it out offensively for sure.
1-0 swung on and missed, 1-1. They've got, what's the math? 25 runs in all the other innings total. So I'm just here to do my job. The 1-1 to Reef. That looked good. It is. Called strike down the heart. 1-2 on Delaney Reef, who's 0 for 9 on the year with an RBI. 3 runs scored. Was 0 for 3 earlier today, but did defensively catch Vandergriff stealing in the first. 1-2 from Vic Moten is fouled into the screen. Remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Finishing up the sports staff for the Crimson Tide. The sports information director is Nathan Sheehan, the SID extraordinaire. Equipment manager Stu Moore. Director of behavioral medicine Kimberly Gibson.
1-2, drop away, misses 2-2.
Photographer Kent Gidley and nutritionist Casey McAlpine.
Quite a cast.
It is. I believe everybody's here.
Yeah. 2-2 from Moten. Is fouled straight back. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score, top of the third. Nobody on, nobody out.
For the Boilermakers, their head coach is Maggie Frazzati in her 3rd season. With assistant coaches Jordan Richwood, Jordan Rudd Lee, and Nikki Dawson.
2-2 from Moten. Is grounded towards second base, handled by Young. Throw to first in time. 1 down. And just a note on the Purdue coaching staff. Again, Maggie Frazzoti in her 3rd year has done a great job turning around this program. Jordan Rudd Lee, Gold Glove winner at Northwestern, who has played on this field before.
Oh.
Back in Supers. So she probably had some unfortunate memories rolling in.
I'm sure she's real excited.
Yeah, sorry. First pitch is a strike to Anna Moore. Freshman is 1 for 11 this year, an .091 average with a run scored. Earlier today, had her first hit, 1 for 2 with a walk.
2 assistant coaches named Jordan, spelled differently.
The 0-1 misses low and away, 1-1. That's the crack research we give you here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Award-winning.
Yes. Numerous awards.
Yeah, a couple times. The 1-1 to Moore. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Alabama continues play here on day number 1 of the Bama Bash, taking on Liberty. That's coming up 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one.
Yep, don't
Whenever that
stray
happens.
far. We'll be back. 1-2 from Moten. Well, good job by Moore holding off. That one missed, low and away, 2-2. Now the 2-2 from the freshman Moten, and it's fouled off again. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Anna Moore.
Vic mowed down the first 3 batters with striking out the side in the first inning. And since then, the defense has had to make some plays, and they've done well.
Well, freshman on freshman battle here. The 2-2, and the Purdue freshman swings and misses. It was kind of a defensive swing on the inner half. And another strikeout for Moten, her 4th, 2 down here in the 3rd.
Tried to hold up. Marley Giles pointed at both umpires. Said, somebody call her out, because she went around, and she did.
Now with 2 gone, here is Ashlyn Campbell, the junior. First pitch, slapped at and missed. 0-1 to Campbell, who's 1 for 9 on the season with a couple runs scored. Was 1 for 2 earlier today against Georgia Southern. So some Purdue hitters got big hits for their years earlier today. The 0-1 is right in there for a called strike, 0-2. Fix ready. The 0-2 is fouled straight back. Maybe got away with one. That one looked a little meaty for an 0-2 pitch.
Well, again, that's one of the things Patrick Murphy was talking about in our pregame interview was you don't want to give up that 0-2 hit, but you want to make it at least enticing enough to get a swing. Sometimes it becomes too enticing.
Another 0-2. Did she go? Yes, she did. Inner half, same spot as the last strikeout. And that's the end of the inning. 5 Ks for Vic Moten, Tom, through 3 innings of work.
Yeah, as soon as I said she's letting her defense work, 2 straight strikeouts. And great job first time through the order by the freshman.
And Alabama's got the top of the order due up in the home half of the 3rd. That's next. Alabama and Purdue tied up 0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 3rd inning is brought to you by Barkley GMC, the best place to buy a vehicle in Tuscaloosa and proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Visit barkleygmc.com today. Barkley makes it easy. Top of the order due up for the Tide, Vandegrift, Wells, and Hawkins. Second time facing Bree Fontenot, all tied up 0. Alabama's had traffic on the base paths, but not able to get anything across. Maybe, though, the thing that will change that, Tom, is Gray's inning of chaos.
It certainly has worked so far for Alabama, and a lot of the times that 3rd inning is when it's the second time through, so it's an opportunity for the offense to make the adjustments against the starting pitcher, and Alabama has done that extremely well so far through the first week of the season. Let's see what they can do here in week 2.
Vandegrift had a bunt single back in the 1st, was caught stealing. First pitch to the sophomore is changeup high, 1-0. The 1-0's in there for a strike on Audrey, 1-1.
Last year, Audrey finished up 50-58 stolen bases, so she was thrown out 8 times. It's not like you're never going to get thrown out.
Right. When you go as much as she does.
Yeah.
The 1-1. That's way too low. And on the other side of the plate, 2-1. Very interesting how still the day is. Sun is out. It's beautiful. But not a ton of wind. 2-1 to Vandegrift. Changeup fouled off. 2-2.
Which is a huge change from what we had this past weekend in Atlanta. As you may have heard if you were listening to the broadcast, we were in a little bit of a wind tunnel.
Yep. But at least it was covered.
Yes. But at least it was cold.
Right, of course.
You're going to get any sun.
2-2 from Fontenot is fouled off by Vandegrift towards the clubhouse. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another 2-2 is lined out towards left field, and Vandegrift reaches with ease. A 2-for-2 day for the All-American. And we'll see if she tries to take second again at some point here in this Brooke Wells AB.
Nice piece of hitting there by Audrey Vandegrift going opposite way. Just kind of went with the pitch, didn't try to do too much with it, and just put it right through that 5-6 hole. And you give Brooke Wells another opportunity.
Wells walked earlier. First pitch is hit foul down the right side, 0-1. So if you're watching or at the game listening, you will probably see over at first base something that is now required across all Division I. That is the double first base, nicknamed the safety base. Officially, it's the double base.
Alabama going with green.
Yeah, can be pretty much any color. 0-1 misses, 1-1.
What they say, it can't be white and it can't be yellow.
Correct. Otherwise, it can be orange, it can be green, it could be blue, it could be anything else. Gold, that'd be interesting. The 1-1 to Wells. Outside, 2-1. I bring that up because there are some rules that go along with this. When you're running down to first base, you got to run through that double first base. But then as soon as you're on first base, just regular base running, or you round first, then it's basically like that base disappears. 2-1, again, misses. Vandegrift dances, but heads back. 3-1.
Which we see that now at basically all levels of softball. D1 college softball was like the last level to bring it in.
And this year it is required, so you will see it everywhere in D1. The 3-1 is low for ball 4. Vandegrift was taking off. She didn't have to. 2 on, nobody out for Alabama here in the bottom of the 3rd, and here we go.
Yep. That will bring out the Purdue coaching staff to discuss things, as I'm sure they've seen the same stats that everybody else has, that the 3rd inning is where this Alabama offense really comes alive.
Someone is getting stretched out but not pitching yet in the Purdue pen. And this is an interesting decision for Patrick Murphy with Salem Hawkins stepping in. She ripped one out to right field her first time up. I think normally you would be inclined to lay something down, move the runners, do the softball thing. But with Salem, I'm letting her go.
Yeah, I think the big question is now when we see a pinch runner for Brooke Wells on first, too. Haven't seen. It's been Kinley Pate, first one off the bench to start off the year. Haven't seen anybody come out as of yet. Murph talking with Salem Hawkins. Crimson Tide Sports Network coverage continues with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at 2 on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. Be sure to join host Roger Hoover for the latest on Alabama athletics. And also be sure to catch Hey Coach in the Nate Oates Show, presented by Alpha Insurance, live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa on Monday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
So here is Salem Hawkins. Runners on first and second, nobody out, no score, bottom of the 3rd. But Alabama, like they have all year, threatening here in this inning. First pitch to Hawkins. She will lay it down. It's a beauty. Fontenot will field it. The throw to first. Hopped in, got away. Vandergrift kept on running. She scores, and Alabama leads 1-0.
We've talked so much about what Salem Hawkins has been able to do with the power here the first week of the season, and we talked about it in all offseason too. Don't forget, she's fast too.
Yep.
And she showed it there. An excellent bunt and the misplay allowing a run to score, which, like you said, Vandegrift never stopped. She might have scored whether that ball was dropped or not.
Yeah, I looked up, and she was 4 feet away from home. It's like, well, that's a run. 1-0 Alabama. Pinch runner Kinley Pate will come on at second for Wells, as we mentioned a moment ago. And up steps Lex Papillo, who walked in the first. Officially a fielding error by Gossett at first base.
So a sacrifice is credited for Hawkins.
And here we go again. First and second, nobody out. 1-0 Alabama. First pitch to Papillo is lined up the middle for a base hit. Patrick Murphy will stop Pate at third. The throw was a great one, so it was the right call. And they're loaded with nobody out for Marley Giles.
Have we mentioned that Les Papillo is just ripping the ball right now?
Just hitting it, swinging hard, Tom. And I like that she knew what she wanted and got it. That was an off-speed pitch, and just sent it right where it came from, right on time.
And now a big opportunity for Marley Giles to bust it open in the third inning.
She hit into a fielder's choice her first time up. She also missed a home run by a few feet back in the first inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. And a first pitch strike to Marley on the outer half, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is looped out to right field. That's going to get down. Lex Papillo had to hold up. She gets to second safely. Pate didn't have to stop. She comes in to score, and Alabama's got a 2 spot here in the bottom of the third, thanks to an RBI single from Marley Giles. I believe this is what the kids call station-to-station softball.
Yes.
They're still loaded. There's still nobody out. 2-0 Alabama. Here's Abby Dukeshire, who flew out to right to lead off the second inning. First pitch to Duke. Change misses away, 1-0.
These are the favorite type of innings for first base coach Caleb Rowe, because that means she's holding a bunch of shin guards and elbow guards over there in the first base box.
You need to get her like a go bag or something for moments like, but specifically for the third, really.
Right.
The 1-0 to Dukeshire.
Oh.
Lifted foul, and she was ready to send that on to McFarland. 1-1. The 1-1 from Fontenot. Low, 2-1. A much more hurried warm-up in the Purdue pen. Malone Moore, the sophomore righty, transferred from Coastal Carolina, is scurrying. A couple other arms in the pen as well. 2-1 to Dukeshire. Inner half. Ball, 3-1.
Yeah, the inside river to righties is not happening.
Nope. Well, nowhere to put her. The 3-1. Low, ball 4. They'll put Dukeshire on first, and that brings in Salem Hawkins. RBI walk makes it 3-0 Alabama here in the bottom of the third, and you've got to think Purdue is considering pulling the ripcord here.
Yeah, there comes, the dugout door is opening, and that will be the end of the day for Bree Fontenot, who it's been if you listened and watched what happened this past weekend in Atlanta, it's kind of been a trend. The starters can, first time through against this Alabama lineup, do well, but then that second time through, the adjustments are made.
So we'll step aside for a moment before the new pitcher comes in for Purdue. Alabama 3, Purdue 0. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the third here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Well, with the bases loaded, nobody out, and a 3-0 Alabama lead, Purdue will make the change in the circle. It is the transfer from UC Riverside, Brooke Perez, who this year has a 1.10 ERA, 6 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 1-0 record for Perez, righty senior. And she comes in a dicey situation, Tom, with Anna Roman stepping in.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for her to come into. Bases loaded, nobody out, and one of the hottest hitters in this Alabama lineup at the plate.
Roman singled in the second. First pitch just missed, 1-0. And Fontenot got out of danger in the first and second inning, but couldn't escape in the third, Tom.
2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, responsible for all 3 runners on base. 5 walks, no strikeouts, 56 pitches, 28 strikes.
The 1-0. Changeup misses, 2-0. Here's the scout for Perez. Low 60s, you're going to see a curve. The change is one of her best pitches. It comes in about 45 miles per hour, mostly into righties, out to lefties. So if you're Roman, you're probably looking middle out here in this AB. The 2-0. Change is way high, 3-0.
But she's got to find the strike zone.
Yeah. Right now you're looking at nothing. This is a full take.
Yeah.
.30 from Perez. Ball 4. A 4-pitch RBI walk. Anna Roman heads to first. Papillo comes in to score, and Alabama leads 4-0 on Roman's 7th RBI of the year.
And if you're, like I said, if you're Purdue, you just got to find the strike zone. Yeah, if they hit it, they hit it, but just walk the yard, it's just going to be a slower death.
Still nobody out, by the way. Jenna Young walked in the second.
3rd inning, man.
Love it. First pitch, there's a strike. 0-1.
Just got a call from our bosses. You're now going to do the 4th inning from now on.
I mean, in the postseason, am I doing all the innings? Maybe. We'll see. 0-1 to Young. That change misses low, 1-1. So bases loaded, nobody out. In case you're just joining us, Alabama leads Purdue 4-0. Boilermakers on their 2nd pitcher of the ball game. Alabama's done this in this inning with execution, singles, and walks pretty much. 1-1 to Young. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
It's like halfway through that swing, she was like, oh, man, I should have swung.
Whoops. Every hitter's favorite word, whoops.
Why? Oh.
The 1-2 is hit in the air towards left field. This is going to be deep enough. Polar's going to make the catch, but an easy tag up and run in for Marley Giles. Execution for Jenna Young. It's 5-0 Alabama on the sac fly.
Yeah, just missed it being a big, big fly, but said does execute. Brings home a run. Still just 1 out now, and more opportunities for the 9th batter of the inning.
Lauren Johnson hit into a fielder's choice in the second. First pitch to Lojo. Change up in the dirt, 1-0.
Smart play by Polar there and left to throw it to third, too, to keep the other two runners from advancing.
Yeah, there's not much you could have done to stop Giles. The 1-0 to Lauren Johnson. Oh, tried to bunt it, fouled it back, 1-1. I love the idea.
Gray, elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, coming up tomorrow, Bama men's basketball, the Tide hosting South Carolina. 7:30 the tip, 6:30 the airtime here on the network.
Is it a busy weekend on campus?
Huge weekend. Everybody's home.
1-1 to Johnson. Is fouled straight back, 1-2.
The Bama women on Sunday will host Oklahoma. 3 o'clock to tip off, 2:45 the airtime for that one. And could be a huge opportunity for Christy Curry's squad to bounce back after the disappointing loss at Texas A&M.
Here's the 1-2 to Johnson. Change, swung on and missed. Best addition of that pitch from Perez so far, and there's 2 down. Still runners on first and second, 2 gone here in the bottom of the third.
And elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, happening right now, Bama baseball is opening day over at the Joe. The Tide hosting Washington State, and the Cougars have an early 3-1 lead there in the bottom of the third. Keep you up to date on that one.
Back to the top with Vandegrift, who's 2 for 2, including a single in this inning. First pitch, change low, 1-0. Don't forget also Power of Pink Gymnastics tonight. I'm sure there's more. Let me check the calendar.
We'll keep you up to date on gymnastics as well in our second game of the evening. Big matchup with Arkansas. Everyone in the SEC is in the top 10.
Yeah. The 1-0 is high to Vandegrift, 2-0. 5-0 Alabama, 2 outs, runners on first and second here in the bottom of the third. Inning where Alabama's now outscoring opponents 31-1 this year.
Should just skip to the third inning.
Let's just, why even play the first 2? To give the opponent a brief glimmer of hope? 2-0. Smack foul. 2-1.
There was a great example of it. Just the sound off the bat so far this season for Alabama has been different.
Perez is ready, I believe. The 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1.
Stop by Reeve coming out, keeping the runners where they are.
And at this point for the Alabama hitters, the change is a pretty easy hold. I mean, there's been one that was in the zone. Everything else has been in the dirt. So if you see that coming, you just take it. 3-1. Miss low and away, ball 4. Vandegrift heads to first, and they are loaded yet again with 2 outs.
Just a massive opportunity here for Brooke Wells. She's been walked twice. They haven't had a whole lot of a desire to go after Brooke in these situations, but like I said, nowhere to put her with 2 outs.
I would be very wary about what I throw to Wells, who has the power to basically end the game now. Bases loaded, 5-0, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Still no wind. First pitch, nice, down the middle for strike 1. Oh, 1 to Wells. High and away, ball and a strike. 7 walks in the game for Alabama. 5 for 10 as a team. Just constant traffic. The 1-1 is smacked out towards center field. That'll bring in at least 1. It got all the way to the wall. 2 runs have crossed. Here comes a third. Brooke Wells has cleared him with a 3 RBI double. And the third inning, man, 8-0 Alabama here in the home half.
Well, you mentioned all the walks, Gray, and you can't give this Alabama offense that many opportunities. They're going to come through, and Brooke Wells absolutely smoked that one to right center field all the way to the wall, like you said, and easily clears the bases. And Bama all of a sudden run rule territory here in the bottom of the third.
And keep in mind that error earlier when Salem Hawkins, who's stepping in now, reached.
Yeah.
That's made 4 of these 8 runs unearned. Hawkins 0 for 1. Ooh, the change made Hawkins buckle a bit. It was in there for a strike, 0-1. Salem flew out to right in the first, laid down that bunt, which goes down as a sacrifice, reached on an error, and later scored earlier in the third. The 0-1 is hit towards third and off the glove of Painter, and there's no throw. They ricocheted to Campbell at short. Good job by Wells getting back to second. And Alabama's got 2 more on with 2 out.
And that's going to be an infield single for Salem Hawkins. And yeah, like I said, smart base running by Brooke Wells with that all happening out in front of her. The book is now closed on Fontenot. 2 innings, 6 runs, 4 earned. Those 5 walks just looming.
Yeah. Lex Papillo drew one of those walks in the first. Singled and scored here in the third. First pitch is high for ball 1. Well, if you're Alabama, you love the home runs and all that. That's great. But the situational hitting, the manufacturing, taking advantage of walks, like that's good stuff too. We're seeing Alabama's offense and the versatility here today against Purdue. 1-0 foul back, 1-1. Like it's great to mash, but sometimes a home run ball is not there. So
right.
How else are you going to score and win? And we're seeing Alabama show that here against Purdue.
A little bit of everything.
You don't want to be good at one thing only. You want to have it all in the arsenal. 1-1. Change misses away, 2-1. 8-0 Alabama, runners on first and second, 2 outs.
Which what we've talked about before, like with the Oklahoma offense. Everybody points to the home runs because, you know, those, they're exciting. They make the highlights, but they're so versatile up and down the order. Alabama trying to be very similar.
2-1. Fouled off, 2-2. Yeah, that to me is the thing I've always really been impressed by with OU. It's like the power numbers are awesome, but it's the way that they're able to put 2 people on base for that 3-run homer.
Right.
It's the way they're able to turn them into grand slams and 3-run bombs and not just solo shots. It's because of walks, putting it in play, just doing a little bit of everything well. 2-2. Papillo reached and fouled it off down the left side. An 8 spot in the third, not even Alabama's biggest third inning of the year so far.
Not yet. We'll see. It's not over yet.
Still time.
Hopefully Vic Moten has been keeping warm during this extended inning.
Gonna need to go through a warm-up again. Time was called. Now Papillo steps back in. 2-2. Fouled straight back.
She's just missed a couple of these.
Another 2-2, another changeup that misses, full count. Yeah, Lex is thinking Brickyard.
Yeah.
And she's having one of those battle ABs that Patrick Murphy talked about in pregame. Now the payoff. Papillo stays alive. Foul ball towards the clubhouse down the left field line.
I believe this is the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
It's been just a wickedly long inning for Purdue pitching. Papillo making it tough. The 3-2 change, smacked out towards center, but right at Condon, who was ready for it. And she makes the catch to end an 8-run inning for the Crimson Tide. 8 runs on 5 hits. They took advantage of one miscue in the field and some walks. And Tom, again, second time through. I mean, the third inning, but also just it shows the adjustments Alabama made against multiple pitchers.
Right, yeah. The adjustments are the key there. And you can take a pitcher that seems to, have everything under control and cruising, so all of a sudden they're out of the game because you've just lit her up in an inning.
And now we go to the fourth. Alabama 8, Purdue 0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Stadium. Alabama leads Purdue 8-0 as we go to the fourth. Top of the order due up for the Boilermakers, Banks, Polar, and Douglas facing Vic Moten in the circle. And, man, she's got some cushion. An 8 spot for the Tide in the bottom of the third. And now the freshman can pitch even freer, Tom, than she already has so far. Yeah,
and she's gone 3 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 43 pitches, and 30 strikes through the first 3. Like I said, making it kind of jokingly, but got to stay warm when your offense is out there hitting as much as he was. But should be able to go freely now against this Boilermakers lineup, second time through. And Gray, you mentioned Alabama in the third inning, 34-1.
Yep.
Purdue before that inning in the third, what had they done?
Not allowed a run in the third this year.
Now they've allowed 8.
Yeah. Somewhat regrettably, I'm now going to hand it back to my partner, Tom Canterbury. We got to keep the magic going. We don't want to break the jinx, but I am ready to do other innings this year if need be. Just saying. We can adjust my contract. Ethan's here. We can fix that. Jim will give you a call. Anyway, partner, back to you.
Thanks so much, Gray. Well done. 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 5 left for Alabama. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left for Purdue so far here in the ball game. You mentioned those 8 runs. 4 of those were unearned because of that error last inning. Chloe Banks to lead things off. She struck out looking her first time up and swings and misses at the first strike. Banks, a senior from Orange Park, Florida. It's been a Boilermaker entire career. Takes that for a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Fouled away. We'll do it again. No 0-2. Another update from over at the Joe, and Washington State has come out ablazing. They're in the top of the 4th inning. Washington State with a 5-1 lead over Alabama. Alabama baseball. That one misses low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little inauspicious start, but it's a lot of expectations for Alabama baseball this year. Hopefully this is the year they all break through, as that one's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like Gray mentioned, gymnastics coming up this evening at 6:30. Alabama hosting Arkansas, and we'll keep you up to date on those scores as our second game goes. That one just missed inside, and Banks held off on the slap, and we'll see the count go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, fouled away. 3-2. Gray, it's time for a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast, part of the Softball America Podcast Network. Wherever you get your podcasts, give us a follow at @outofthebox_pod on X. Like, subscribe, and share. Payoff pitch. High and inside for ball 4, and the first base runner of the ball game for Purdue comes with a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, had a great show this week with Michelle Smith, and we'll have one of the Clearwater gang on the show this week. So,
okay.
You know, there are a ton of people calling those games, so we have 10 choices.
Mariah Poehler steps in. She struck out her first time. And the runner on first has just been called out.
All right, let me get out the safety base, the double first base.
For leaving early.
Was it leaving early, or was it?
Or Poehler fouls that one away for strike 1.
Tough time for a scoreboard update. I was looking at my laptop.
Sorry, but I think she was just kind of readjusting her stance and kind of just slipped off the base.
See, my thought was maybe when she walked down, she touched the wrong bag.
The 0-1 is in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike.
But I'm not 100% sure.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't looking at her when the out was called, or until the out was called, and as I looked at the umpire calling the out, her foot was on the white bag.
Right.
So there was not an argument from the Purdue dugout.
Which to me is the telling thing here. That means whatever it was a good call. We'll see if between games, if people still are thinking about it, we'll get a clarification. Boy, what a setup for a weird day of scoreboard updates that we'll talk about. Clearwater's been off the chain, my friend.
Just looking for consistency from virtually anyone.
Really? I mean, how does Nebraska go from looking like a top 5 team in the country to barely able to get any runs across?
The 1-1 is fouled away, a ball and 2 strikes, because we're seeing it not only like, okay, well, somebody pitched their number 1, so maybe when their number 2 or 3 is pitching, they don't look as good. It's the same people pitching.
Right.
And just go from run rules to being run ruled. The 1-2 bounces in, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So let's get to some finals. In 5 innings, Texas Tech beat Florida Atlantic 8-0. Red Raiders beat Florida State in a great game yesterday, and they'll be prime time Sunday against Nebraska.
2-2 pitch, line back to Moten, who it hit off of her chest and shoulder. So everyone will check to make sure that she's okay. It's going to be a base hit, and we're seeing everyone come out to check on Vic.
She's saying my bad as if
she thinks she should have caught it.
I think we'll let this one slide.
But first-year athletic trainer William Warwick out there along with Patrick Murphy and Lance Mann. Everyone seems to be smiling and laughing, so I think Vic is all right. So that came right back and hit her on the right shoulder or on the chest.
Well, and it knocked her face mask off. So it, again, she supplies a lot of the velocity. It's a well-hit ball by Poehler anyway. First hit of the ball game for Purdue. And Vic threw a warm-up pitch. She's good to go.
Okay, all right. So runner on first with 1 out, and Bella Douglas, the designated player, will be the batter. She struck out her first time. Douglas, a freshman from Howell, Utah. First pitch. Went too far around on a check swing, strike 1.
More scores. Oklahoma beat Montana, the team not the Fouts, 17-0 in 5, and an 18-6 win over New Mexico State in 5.
So they scored 35 runs in 2 games. That one missed a little bit out, 1-1.
Tennessee, great win over Nebraska, 4-1 through their top 3 arms in that game. And Florida beat Marshall a little bit ago, 6-3.
1-1. Inside, 2-1.
What a day for Oklahoma State. A 9-8 win for the Cowgirls against Texas A&M, and then followed it up with a 4-3 victory in extras over UCLA, maybe the hottest offense in America.
2-1. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Because Oklahoma State was one of those teams that, like, after the first week, I'm like, I'm not sure.
And yesterday was kind of.
Yeah.
They lost to LSU, beat Georgia.
2-2's fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. From what I've seen so far, it's wide open.
Oh.
There are some favorites.
Yep.
But almost anybody can beat almost anybody.
Yeah, I would say anyone can get got at any time.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got her with the drop ball there. And there's 2 away.
Well, on the flip side, bad day for Texas A&M. They also lost to Duke 8-6.
Ugh.
So tough start for the Aggies. Arkansas over Wichita State 10-2-5. Oregon beat Fullerton 7-3. Georgia over NC State 16-2-5. And Michigan State upsets Virginia Tech 7-6.
Haley Painter steps in. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Painter popped out her first time. NC State's had an interesting day.
Oh, yeah, more on them in a moment. Georgia came back, beat UCF in 5, 13-5. South Carolina run-ruled Louisville 9-1.
1-0's outside, 2-0.
2 run-rule wins for Mississippi State, 9-1 over Murray State, 8-0 over Rutgers. And now I scroll. Ole Miss 8-0 over A&M Corpus Christi.
Ole Miss just got to find wins.
Yeah.
The 2-0. Rise ball high, 3-0.
NC State did get the win over Missouri, 13-7.
Speaking of needing to find wins, Missouri.
Yes. Ole Miss 5-2 over Louisiana. And that's pretty much it for the finals. A lot of games happening now, though.
3-0 pitch is high for ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. Puts runners on first and second with 2 outs.
I'll plow through this. Top 7, South Carolina 6-2 over Boston U. Bottom 6, Duke leads LSU 5-3. Tennessee is up on James Madison in the top of the 5th.
Lansing Man coming out to talk things over Vic Moten. So we'll have a few more moments.
Top of the 1st, Georgia Tech and Florida have started. No score there. Arkansas Clemson will be beginning soon. And Missouri has a 1-0 lead on UCLA in the top of the 2nd inning. Also no score, bottom 1, Ohio State and Texas. So we'll keep you up to date on all those. A lot of interesting games happening in this night session, including a game that'll start after we're done with the 2nd game, Kentucky and Oregon.
Maura Condon now will step in. She grounded out her first time. First pitch just misses for ball 1.
I lied. Kentucky-Stanford. Kentucky-Oregon is tomorrow.
Georgia Tech, the 1-0. Fouled away, 1-1 strike. Georgia Tech lost to FIU earlier today in a surprise.
Had a 5-1 lead.
But could certainly make up for it against Florida.
Yeah.
And if Missouri has something for UCLA, the 1-1 popped up on the infield, third base side, calling everyone off as Dukeshire. She'll make the catch for out number 3, and Vic Moten keeps Purdue off the board here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You make adjustments, but so does the other team, and Purdue had some much better at-bats that time around against Moten. Good job, though, not allowing the Boilermakers, who were 5 of 8 in the response stat, to answer themselves. Now if you're the Tide, maybe a little extra cushion to really secure that run rule margin in the bottom of the 4th.
In the 4th inning for the Boilermakers, no runs on hit, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, 8-0 Crimson Tide. Here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from the airfield. 8-0 Alabama as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Due up for the Tide in the fourth. It'll be Giles, Dukeshire, and Roman, 5, 6, 7, and they'll be facing a new pitcher for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, it's Emma Bailey coming in, the senior righty out of Indianapolis, Indiana. A 3.50 ERA on the year. This is her second appearance of the season. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run it was earned, 1 walk and a strikeout. A career ERA of 7 on 3 innings of work against SEC teams. Not a ton of velocity. You're going to see, frankly, mid to high 50s, probably 55 to 57. Drop ball, curve ball, does have an off speed. And unfortunately, when I watched some film, she was leaving it up a bit in her last time out, her only time out this year. So if Alabama sees that elevation, that's when you really, really pounce.
She replaces Brooke Perez, who went an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs that were both unearned, 2 walks and a strikeout, 31 pitches and 17 strikes. So Marley Giles will lead things off 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored in that 3rd inning. First pitch, low for ball 1. Timeout, I think. Might have actually forgotten to put her to actually tell the umpire that there's a new pitcher.
Well, I saw.
Unless there's another change.
I saw Coach Frizzotti come out. There must be another change somewhere in the field.
And a new catcher as well, all right. Whose number is obscured by her equipment.
Let's see if I can take an educated guess. We'll see. There are a couple options it could be.
The 1-0 is a little outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
I'm guessing it's either Gabriela Sosa or Haley Wagner. Probably Haley Wagner, freshman from Athens, Alabama. That would make sense.
The 2-0 is in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes. There's a strike, 3-1. Alabama softball on this date is presented by SiriusXM for all things college softball, including live games and talk. Tune in to SiriusXM College Sports Radio, channel 84, and streaming on the SiriusXM app. 3-1. Misses inside for ball 4 and leadoff walk for Marley Giles. Grade, you know the date?
Friday.
It's
Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
correct.
Yes.
It's the day before Valentine's Day.
Yes. Love is in the air.
Thank you. We are going to see. Well, not a pinch hitter, unless they're going to pinch run for Marley.
I think it might be I think they are going to pinch run for Marley right here.
Yeah, Abby Dusher is going to be the batter, so I think it's Kristen White going to come out to run for Marley. But it is February 13th. Alabama 17-5 all time on February 13th. Outscoring opponents 157-44. Aaron Wright threw a 5-inning no-hitter against Lipscomb on this date back in 2004.
Okay.
As did Alexis Osorio against Pacific in 2015 out in Palo Alto. Bama scored 21 runs against McNeese in 5 innings in 2008, setting the program record for most runs scored in a game on this date, with a 21-1 win in 5 innings.
And gave up a run. Steph was probably mad.
First pitch to Abby Dukeshire, high and away for ball 1. Bama last played on this date back in 2022, picking up an 8-3 win over New Mexico out in Tucson. So, in general, a fun day.
Yeah, sounds getaway day to me.
I believe it was. The 1-0. Called strike. White will take off, and she will be caught stealing. And they might want to challenge that one because I think third base umpire Ken Jones might be 0 for 2. K-Dub immediately popped up and said, challenge that one.
The throw from, I believe, Wagner, the new catcher, was a little deep.
Yeah.
And they'll be reviewing safer out because the throw, since it was deep, there wouldn't have really been an opportunity for obstruction here, so that's not what we'd be taking a look at. I don't think K-Dub got a great jump either. So that's kind of what made this a little tighter than it probably should have been.
But yeah, like the throw was back behind second base. Campbell kind of caught it falling toward her backside. And I wasn't sure the tag was ever applied. And I think that's what Kristen White was pretty adamant.
It would be pretty wild if this is upheld and Alabama's 0 for 2 in stolen bases.
With Audrey Vandergriff and Kristen White.
Right.
Two of the fastest, not just on the team, but definitely in the conference, if not the country.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, though, this is one of those situations where we don't have another look at it.
No.
I did think live White was safe.
Yeah. As did I.
But again, those Hawkeye cameras, if there was any part of the glove from Campbell that got White, those Hawkeye cameras will pick them up. And
yeah,
again, it's also important to remember that the call on the field is out. So it's got to be clear and obvious that the tag either missed or wasn't applied at all or was late.
Right. See what someone's definition of clear and obvious is here today.
Well, scoreboard update. Florida has struck quickly against Georgia Tech, 1-0 in the bottom of the first. See if we can do that in the third, Gators.
Wow.
Top 5, Tennessee up 6-0 on JMU. And Texas quickly on top of Ohio State, 1-0 bottom 1.
The renewal of the non-conference football matchup between Ohio State and Texas.
A couple years ago, they played on a Monday on the Big Ten Network in Ohio. That was kind of crazy.
Here comes our umpires back to tell us. Heath Walker with the mic. As you can tell by the response of the crowd, the call has been overturned. And 2 challenges for stolen bases on second base, and they've both been changed here today, 1 for each team.
You know, typically in SEC play, you only get a change call about 31% of the time. Last year, 2 years ago, it was 25%.
Yeah.
So pretty rare to see 2 change today. And keep in mind also with the new challenge rules, Coach Frizzotti and Coach Murphy both got those challenges back. So they still have 2 for the entirety of the game.
2-0 to Dukeshire is a called strike, 2-1.
It was a pretty interesting year of changes in softball rules, and that was something the coaches were clamoring for years.
It was just common sense.
Yeah, get the challenge back, and now you do.
Why should I be punished when you got it wrong? The 2-1, Dukeshire fouled it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Over at the Joe Out of the Box Podcast scoreboard update, it's now 6-1 Washington State, top 5. Should I go over there and do like the 5th inning or something?
2-2. It's low and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Dukeshire with a chopper to short. Stop made by Campbell. She double clutched it, but was able to get possession and make the throw in time for out number 1, runner to third.
This is great recognition by Kristen White, noticing that Campbell was going to have to move a pretty good bit from short. She was shaded closer towards third base. She had to move up the middle to go and field that. It would have been a miraculous human body moment to be able to turn and throw to third and get White there. So she totally read that properly, and they've got another run 60 feet away.
1 out now for Anna Roman. First pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Roman, 1 for 1, singled in the second, had an RBI walk, and came around to score in the third. 8-0 Alabama. Tide trying to get some insurance to ensure the run rule. The 0-1 misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. swung on and missed. Ball on 2 strikes. Sun has set here at Rhoads Stadium. Dusk in Tuscaloosa on a beautiful day. It was kind of a tough sun field there for a little while. The 1-2. Line to second. Moore is there to make the catch, and there's 2 away.
Boy, I tell you what, Anna Roman got on time. She was struggling with that velocity shift with Bailey early in the AB, coming up empty. That time, she squared that bad boy up. Maybe a hair out in front, so it was right at Moore. But again, a barrel for this Alabama offense.
Now 2 out, no runner on third for Jenny Young. First pitch is a called strike. Young with no official at-bats today and 2 plate appearances. She's walked and had a sacrifice fly.
Interesting to see a little bit of a shift in the outfield. Condon shaded over towards left center.
Little outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So that tells you Bailey's going to keep working exactly where she's worked so far in this AB, middle out. And if you're Young, you should see that anything middle or maybe a mistake in, you've got to pull that bad boy because it's going to be hard for Purdue to have a defender there in the outfield.
1-1. High and inside, 2-1. Like I said, with the velocity change not coming in as fast, more time to get around on it to get it down that right field line. 2-1 is fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on third. Bama trying to add to their 8-0 lead here in the home half of the 4th. So as it stands right now, Purdue has to score 1 run at least in the top of the 5th to keep the game going. Two. Foul back. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. That one's taken to deep left field, ranging back, and it pops out of the glove of Polar. Coming in to score is going to be White, and Young will stand on second base as Polar got all turned around out there in left field. Almost was able to come down with it anyway, but wasn't able to make a clean catch, and it's 9-0 Alabama.
Yeah, and with this pitch coming into Young, really good piece of hitting, and it's moving through the air in a way that Polar, I think, did have it read correctly initially, but it kept tailing. She had to kind of switch sides and also didn't know where the wall was. It seemed like she was waiting to crash up against the wall and really never did. Good job by Young taking advantage with a double.
Lauren Johnson steps in. The first pitch comes in low for ball 1. Lojo is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout, and that has been scored an RBI double.
Yes, because it was.
I agree, yes.
Some places would mark that as an error.
Stay tuned to the Alabox podcast for a rant. The 1-0. Johnson fouls that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Which rant?
Oh, the one I'm going to have coming up.
Going to have?
Yes.
We did 40 minutes of ranting this week. The pod is more than rants, guys. But
right. But there is a rant portion.
Yes. People love it. It's fine.
The 1-1. Johnson fouls this one away. The ball and 2 strikes.
Let's see how quickly Johnson can adjust. Way out in front of that mid-50s velo from Bailey.
1-2. And that one's taken into left center, and that's down for a base hit. Rounding third is Young. She'll come in to score, and Johnson is safely there just underneath the tag at second base.
There must have been a miss on the tag because Purdue thought for sure she was out. The run would have scored anyway.
Right.
But if I'm Purdue, I'm challenging this, considering the track record at second base. And if I'm Lauren Johnson, I'm thrilled Good piece of hitting on that pitch, elevated, but again, 55 or so. But because it was barrel, even though she was still a little early, she was able to lift it just over the head of Campbell at short.
Larissa Pruitt is going to bat for Alabama.
Are they not going to challenge that?
I think Coach Rosati is out there discussing things with our home plate umpire, Russell Young. I don't think they're going to challenge it. Well, maybe. She might be asking, too, is would the run count regardless, no matter if. So the run is going to, like you said, the run is going to score regardless because the run did happen before the tag at second base.
Definitely.
So it's definitely 10-0. But the question is, does the inning continue or was the third out made at second base?
Alabama, though, staying aggressive on the base paths.
Yeah.
Purdue's been money on those relays.
Yeah, and Purdue is going to challenge the call at second base.
Yeah, this is the right thing to do if you're Purdue. I mean,
we understand it's 10-0, but
there have been 2 plays at second, and frankly, the ball beat Lauren Johnson by a pretty good amount. The only way that she is safe is if the tag missed or she slid around it.
It was a good slide. She slid as much as you can in that situation, tried to slide under the tag there. So that is the question, whether or not Campbell, the shortstop, was able to apply the tag in time or not. And for the third time today, our umpiring crew has head over to the clubhouse porch where the giant TV is, where they'll be checking things out.
You know who's really grateful for stuff like this? Liberty.
Yes.
Because, again, we're going 30 minutes after this game is over. Any extra warm-up time, the Flames, I'm sure, are happy to be taking it.
Yeah, it was scheduled for a 6 o'clock start, which we're actually going to be a little bit late for that, but it's going to be.
I think everybody knew, though,
Right.
6 o'clock would be a little.
It was ambitious.
Yeah, that's the word.
Like I said, those Hawkeye cameras, the resolution.
It's really incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, we use it with softball. We've used it for the last few years in volleyball. What it's able to pick up is really remarkable. And it's frankly a shame that, for the most part, that technology is only used in the SEC. I don't know why we don't use Hawkeye at the World Series. I understand we have 800 cameras there and we can get every angle, but it just feels like something that all the conferences should put into place and that should be available in the postseason. Even when we're here during the postseason, we can't use Hawkeye because not every stadium is equipped with that for regionals and supers.
Yeah. They're still watching.
And of course, the other key thing here is that she was called safe on the field.
Right. So they have to be sure. As it stands right now, it's back-to-back RBI doubles for Alabama with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Here come our umpires one more time.
Boy, if this has changed too, tough day at second base for calls.
Yeah, Ken Jones has struggled over at second base. Heath Walker will let us know. And no, Ken was right. Safe at second. Back-to-back RBI doubles.
I really wish I could see a slow-mo replay, just the Hawkeye footage of that slide from Lauren Johnson. It had to be really, really good because, again, the throw beat her. And Campbell pretty good over at short. But Johnson able to get around her somehow and stay safe at second.
Now we have Larissa Pruitt getting her first at-bat of the day. And we'll probably stay in to play outfield in the top of the 5th.
1 for 3 on the year with 2 runs.
First pitch. Outside for ball 1. Pruitt, the senior from Hartselle.
A 400 career hitter in the Bama Bash, Tom, with 13 RBIs and 3 triples.
The 1-0. Outside, 2-0.
Well, if I'm Pruitt, this is the pitch I'm thinking about really hammering. Outfield playing her pretty straight up.
2-0 is outside 3-0. I believe Larissa was the MVP 2 years ago at the Bama Bash.
I will take your word for it.
I think Abby was last year, and I think Larissa was 2 years ago.
Larissa did have the walk-off to run rule Virginia Tech last year.
The 3-0. Called strike, 3-1. It could have been Montana, but I think it was Larissa. 3-1. Pruitt fouls it back. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner on second. Bama with the 10-0 lead as we play here in the home half of the 4th. So the hill has become higher to climb for Purdue to play more than 5 innings here today.
I think the question is, will it be Vic Moten in the 5th inning for Alabama?
Timeout called.
Well, and also, if you're Pruitt, not only do you want to cash in on this chance, but an opportunity for teammates behind. Ambry Taylor waiting on the on-deck circle. Patrick Murphy is giving some kids a shot here, but you got to keep the inning going.
Payoff pitch to Pruitt. Fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And on the pitching front, Ailey Johnson is out there right now. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw Brea Hodges, but you've got the cushion. Moten, 69 pitches. That's maybe a little higher than some of the outings we saw in Atlanta in terms of strike efficiency.
Another 3-2. Outside for ball 4. So really good at bat there by Larissa.
Yeah, that's so hard. As a pinch hitter, they're called pinch hitters, not pinch walkers. So you're up there like, I want something, I want something, I want something. It takes a lot of discipline to just take what you're given, not force the issue. Good job by Larissa, just doing what had to be done in that situation, because she really only got maybe 1 pitch to truly go after right there that wasn't on a 3-0.
Ambry Taylor will be the new batter, and we will see a new pitcher come in for Purdue as well. We'll take a timeout, tell you about that new pitcher in just a moment. Pitching change break, 10-0 Alabama with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Two outs. Runners on first and second. 10-0 Alabama. The new pitcher for Purdue is Malone Moore, the righty, facing Ambry Taylor. First pitch to the freshman Taylor is high for ball 1.
Coastal Carolina transfer Moore, 5.73 ERA. This is her 2nd appearance of the year. 3 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 2 walks and 2 Ks. Low to mid 60s, rise, which you just saw there. Change, doesn't get a lot of swings and misses, a lot of contact.
The 1-0 is low, 2 balls and no strikes.
And not afraid to attack all the quadrants. We've seen 2 pitches, a rise and a drop. So, again, you're going to see her work all over the zone.
Emma Bailey went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts, 32 pitches, 17 strikes, responsible for the 2 runners on base. Taylor with a ground ball to third on the second hop. Painter has it, will step on the bag for out number 3 to retire the side. But here in the 4th inning, Alabama adds to their lead. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the top of the 5th inning, the last chance for Purdue. They got to score 3 to keep the game going. It's 10-0 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Alabama with a 10-0 lead for Purdue. Last chance for the Boilermakers with 6, 7, 8 due up, and they will be facing a new pitcher for the Crimson Tide, and it's going to be the senior, Ailey Johnson.
Yeah, Ailey on the year has looked really good in these spots. Not a surprise to see her come in here. 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and she's been pretty darn good in the Bama Bash in her career. How about a .49 ERA in this event, Tom? 14 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, 6 walks, 16 Ks, a 1-0 record. And again, you know, you feel comfortable making this move with what the offense has done, but also I think Patrick Murphy again asking Ailey Johnson to, you know, show that this is a spot where you can put her in when it's 2-0 going into the final potential inning for the opposition. So, you know, even though it's 10-0, still a lot at stake here in this top of the 5th for Ailey Johnson and for Alabama.
A couple other changes out in the field. Lex Papillo moves from the DP spot to the catcher position, and Larissa Pruitt does stay in the ball game, and she will play right field.
I'll give you the rest.
Vic Moten went 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 69 pitches, and 43 strikes. The first pitch to Gossett is a strike. Gossett's 0 for 1 with a fly out. Check swing on the foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes. So a whole new, basically almost an entirely new team out there.
Just call the game. I'll take over in a moment once we get this all squared away.
The 0-2 to Gossett. Fastball a little outside, 1-2.
All right, here we go. We've got the outfield left to right, Griggs, White, and Pruitt. Hubbard is in at 3rd. You've still got Hawkins and Young up the middle, Taylor at 1st, and Lex Papillo behind the plate.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dastardly changeup. Gossett down on strikes, there's 1 gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so hard for opponents, seeing that changeup. Especially, I love it with the Vic Moten pairing because you're not seeing straight change. You're seeing maybe some off speed, but that's like a brand new animal that Purdue just saw right there.
Delaney, no, it's actually a new pitcher, new batter, Haley Wagner. So that means it was Wagner who was in earlier at catcher.
Yeah, the Athens, Alabama native. I'm sure she's got some family in attendance who are cheering her on.
Pops that one foul, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And so far this year, 0 for 2 with an RBI.
Johnson looks in. The 1-1 pitch. A little bit high, 2-1.
Okay.
I guess.
Out of the Box Podcast scoreboard update. Duke, what a day. 5-3, a win over LSU.
2-1 is outside, 3-1. The conversation on the Out of the Box Podcast this week about LSU will be an interesting one.
Yeah. And you know what? Good on Duke. It had been a weird start to the year.
Floats in a bit low for ball 4, and Wagner draws the walk.
At the plate, number 42, Anthony Armstrong.
Another pinch hitter for Purdue. Ansley Armstrong takes the first pitch for ball 1.
Another scoreboard update for you. Bottom 3, UCLA has tied it up with Missouri 1-1.
Armstrong 1 for 1 on the year with a homer.
Oh. Well, I get it. I understand why this is when you go to her. You need one more person on base to extend the ball game, but I understand. And also another Alabama native, Hayden, Alabama. So another one who's probably got some folks in attendance. Good on Coach Frizzotti, giving the Alabama natives a shot here at Rhoads.
Oh, no. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Ten runs on 9 hits for Alabama. No runs on a hit for Purdue. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Remember that lone hit for Purdue is that line drive back up the middle that hit Vic Moten in the chest. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Changeup got another one, and Purdue's down to their final out.
Well, that's mighty impressive.
We're going to see yet another pinch hitter for the Boilermakers here. It's going to be
Can I take a guess? Well, never mind, because Ashley Campbell, who's due up, is actually from the great city of Wetumpka, Alabama.
Oh.
Shout out to Edgar Weldon, legend of Wetumpka, the only person who's ever completed a 99-yard pass that wasn't a touchdown.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great story.
But unfortunately, it is Gabriela Sosa for that discussion coming in. First pitch swung on a miss for strike 1. Gabriela Sosa, a junior from San Antonio.
Yeah, we'll see Campbell again tomorrow, starting shortstop for Purdue.
The 0-1. Misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, if you're Haley Johnson, you got one job, really, and that's just to shut it down right here.
Swing and a miss. Ball and 2 strikes.
And Sosa was so far out in front of that changeup, not even a second thought, Lance. Just go right back to it, maybe bring it a little lower in the zone.
The 1-2. Little outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I would just, I'll assume that's a setup for the change. I mean, that pitch, Sosa was so late, or early rather.
The 2-2, excuse me, swung on and missed. 4 strike 3. Sosa down on strikes, and that's the ball game. Your final score: Alabama 10, Purdue 0.
Yeah, well done. I mean, this was a pretty well-controlled ball game by Alabama, a game where the Tide had 3 extra base hits, none that left the building, but they did a great job doing what the really good teams do, taking advantage of walks, taking advantage of big-time opportunities on base, and really just controlling this ball game. Vic Moten also fantastic yet again in the circle, just remaining quite the story for Alabama here to start the year.
In 5 innings, the final score: Alabama 10, Purdue 0. 10 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 7 left for Alabama. Purdue, no runs on a hit, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. Vic Moten is the winning pitcher. She's now 4-0. Bree Fontenot will take the loss. She's now 2-2. With a win, Alabama improves to 6-0. Purdue falls to 5-2. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Alabama softball postgame report right after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The Alabama Softball Postgame Report is brought to you by the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app, presented by Cadence Bank. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app, presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Alabama coming away with a 10-0 5-inning win over Purdue in the first game of the Bama Bash on day number 1 for Alabama. Coming up next, it's Alabama and Liberty. We'll have that broadcast for you with a 6:15 airtime, 6:30 first pitch between the Tide and the Flames, where in that pregame show we'll go over the full box score from this one. But Gray, just a real quick couple words about Alabama's performance here, especially that third inning.
I mean, I love the third inning. Everybody basically did the thing. I mean, got a hit, reached on something, a walk. You just got to love the overall balance from this offense, 1 through 9, and what Alabama was able to do against multiple pitchers, quick adjustments. And even in the first 2 innings when they didn't score, they still had a lot of traffic. So a lot to like, and Vic Moten exceptional as well. Also no errors, like no notes. Now you got to keep that energy, bring it against a Liberty team that has let a lot of moments like this get by them to start the year. They want to change that here tonight in Tuscaloosa.
Is just offensively a great performance by Alabama, as once again every spot in the lineup reached base at least once.
Yeah.
So
killer.
Yeah.
Good work, everyone.
Yes. So quick truncated post-game show. We'll have a full breakdown of that box score coming up in our pregame for game number 2. But that's going to do it for this broadcast of Alabama Softball, presented by T-Mobile and the Bama Softball Post-Game Reports, brought to you by the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app, presented by Cadence Bank. The Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. Our CTSN booth cam producer has been Ethan Carabin, and our studio engineer has been Julia Lang. For Gray Robertson and everyone here at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Tom Canterbury saying thank you for joining us as Bama gets the 5-inning, 10-0 shutout over Purdue. Tune in again next for Game 2 of the day here in the Bama Bash for Alabama as the Tide faces off with Liberty. First pitch is set for 6:30. We'll be on the air at 6:15. Until then, roll Tide from Tuscaloosa.